The mission no one wanted. The ship was quiet. Only the soft hum of the engine filled the air. Commander Jace sat alone, staring at a small photo on his screen. It showed an alien creature. She had dark silver skin, glowing blue eyes, and long, smooth arms. Her name was Ashalyn. She was the target. Jace had been sent to kill her. He was a soldier of Earth's special forces, strong, loyal, trained to follow orders without question. But this mission was different. This mission felt wrong. Why me? He had asked when the generals called him in. Because no one else volunteered, the old general said. You're the best we have. Go in. Find her. End her. They told him Ashalyn was dangerous. That she was the leader of a hidden Ginari base. That she had stolen human children and was raising them like pets. They said she was a threat to humanity. But something in Jace's heart whispered, this doesn't feel right. Now flying alone toward the dark side of a moon where the Ginari lived, Jace felt a strange mix of anger and fear. He remembered the orphanage where he grew up, cold, cruel, and full of pain. He remembered the way humans treated the weak. Maybe aliens weren't so different. The ship's computer beeped. Landing zone in 2 minutes, it said. Jace grabbed his gear, checked his pulse gun, and took one last look at Ashalyn's face. Cold-blooded killer, he told himself. Don't forget that. But her eyes in the photo, they looked sad. Not evil. Just tired. The landing was soft. Jace stepped out into the forest. The trees were tall and blue, glowing gently in the dark. The air smelled like wet stone and sweet flowers. He moved quietly, following the signal from his tracker. Then he heard it. Laughter. Not alien. Not strange. Human children. He crouched behind a tree and saw them. 3 small human kids playing near a stream. A boy threw stones into the water while 2 girls ran after a glowing bird. Jace's heart stopped. What are they doing here? They look happy. He expected to see cages, chains, pain. Instead, he saw joy. Then he saw her. Ashalyn. She stepped from the shadows, tall and graceful, carrying a basket of food. The children ran to her. She knelt down and hugged them all, her long arms wrapped around them gently. Come, little ones, she said in soft, clear English. Time to eat. Jace couldn't move. He was trained to shoot on sight. But now his hands wouldn't lift the gun. This wasn't a monster. This looked like a mother. He followed them at a distance. They entered a small home built into the side of a hill. Lights glowed from within. He could hear the children laughing, plates clinking, and stories being told. Jace activated his hidden communicator. Command, this is Jace, he whispered. A voice replied, Go ahead. What's the status? He looked at the house. She's here, with the children. Is the target confirmed? Yes. Then you know what to do. Jace's hand shook. Commander, the voice asked. But Jace didn't answer. He shut off the radio. He watched the house until the lights dimmed and the night became quiet. One by one, the children went to sleep. Ashalyn sat by the door, looking up at the stars. She seemed peaceful. Then something happened. A small voice came from inside. Mama. One of the girls had woken up and walked to Ashalyn. The alien turned and opened her arms. Yes, my little one. I had a bad dream, the girl said, her voice soft. Ashalyn picked her up and hugged her close. You are safe now. I am here. Jace felt something heavy press on his chest. He had seen mothers before, on Earth, in cities, in war zones, but none of them held their children like this, not even his own. This wasn't what they told him. This wasn't a mission. This was a lie. Jace stayed hidden in the trees all night. He didn't sleep. He couldn't. What am I doing here? He thought of the orders, the reward, the glory. But none of it mattered now. As dawn came and the alien home lit up with morning light, Jace knew one thing for sure. He couldn't kill her. But if Command found out, they would come. With bombs. With fire. He looked at the sleeping house. He had a choice to make. And either way, someone was going to die. She feeds them like a human would. He came to kill her, but she served him food that smelled like his childhood. And for the first time in years, he felt human again. The morning sun rose slowly over the glowing forest. The sky above the alien moon turned a soft purple, and the blue trees sparkled with dew. Jace had not moved from his spot all night. He had watched the alien home from the shadows, waiting, thinking, and questioning everything he had believed. Inside that home was Ashalyn, the binary monster he was ordered to kill. But she wasn't a monster. She had cradled a human child in her arms like a mother. She spoke soft, kind words. She protected them, loved them. Jace's fingers still hovered near his gun, but his heart was already moving in a different direction. I need to know the truth, he told himself. Not from Earth Command. Not from files. From her. He stepped out from the trees. The front door was made of smooth stone and opened with a soft sound. Jace entered slowly, his hands raised, his weapons holstered. He expected shouting. He expected fear. But instead, Ashalyn turned to him calmly. Her glowing blue eyes looked into his without anger. I was wondering when you'd stop hiding, she said. Jace froze. You knew. A gentle smile touched her lips. Of course, you smell like metal and pain. You watch like a soldier. But you did not raise your weapon. That says much more. The children peeked out from behind a doorway. One of them, a small boy with messy hair and wide brown eyes, held a wooden toy shaped like a ship. Is he going to live with us now? He asked. Ashalyn chuckled. We'll see. Jace stood awkwardly near the table. The house was warm, made of stone and wood, with soft lights glowing from the walls. Everything felt peaceful. Too peaceful for a place Earth Command had called a terrorist hideout. Sit, Ashalyn said, pointing to a chair. You look like you haven't eaten. I haven't, Jace admitted. Not since yesterday. She nodded and brought him a bowl of soup. The smell hit him like a memory. Wait, he whispered. This smells like beef stew. My mother used to make this. I know, she said gently. I have learned human cooking. It comforts the children. He looked at the steaming bowl, confused and shaken. Why? He asked. Why take care of them? Why human children? Her face grew serious. Because someone had to. They were abandoned, left on battlefields. Some were even being sold by your own kind. We rescued them. Jace's jaw tightened. That's not what I was told. I'm sure it wasn't, she replied. He took a bite. It tasted like home. Later that day, Jace walked outside with the children. They showed him their favorite games. They laughed and ran through the forest, chasing glowing bugs and throwing stones into the stream. One girl, Lena, told him about her past. I was in a cage, she said, on a human ship. They said they were taking us to a better planet. But there were no beds, no food, just boxes. Who saved you? Jace asked. Ashalyn, she smiled. She came with other Ynnari. They'd broke the cages. She held me when I was scared. She still does. Jace didn't know what to say. Everything was upside down. He sat by the stream, staring into the water. His communicator buzzed inside his jacket. He took it out slowly. Commander Jace, report in, a cold voice said. Target status. Jace didn't answer. Do you copy? He turned the device off. That night, Ashalyn found him sitting near the fire inside the home. The children were asleep, their soft breaths filling the air like music. You did not contact your people, she said quietly. No, he said. I couldn't. Why? Jace looked into the fire. I grew up in an orphanage, on Earth. They told us we were lucky, but it wasn't a home. It was a cage. Cold floors. No love. Just beatings and rules. I never forgot it. He looked at her. This is nothing like that. This is more human than anything I've seen. She sat beside him. Being human, she said, is not about blood. It is about choice. Her words stayed in his mind for hours after she left. In the middle of the night, Jace couldn't sleep. He walked through the house, past the rooms where children slept peacefully. He looked at drawings on the walls. Crayon sketches of stars, ships, and stick figures. One of them showed Ashalin holding hands with two children. In the corner, written in shaky human letters, "My mama." Jace stood in silence, his heart heavy. He had come to kill this woman. But how do you kill a mother? He walked outside and looked up at the stars. Somewhere out there, Earth Command was waiting for his signal. He reached into his pocket and pulled out the communicator again. But he didn't turn it on. He dropped it into the stream and watched it sink. Far away, on a military ship orbiting the moon, a red light blinked. "Commander Jace has gone dark," one officer said. The general frowned. "He's been compromised. Prepare a drone strike. Wipe the area." But Jace didn't know that yet. He only knew one thing for sure now. He wasn't going to betray her. Not this mother. Not this home. Not this time. The children whisper at night. They called her a monster back on Earth. But here, under the alien stars, the children whispered her name like a prayer. The night was quiet again. The forest outside the small alien home was calm, glowing softly with light from the trees. But inside Jace's heart, a storm was building. He had thrown his communicator into the stream. He had broken his orders. And now, he didn't know what would happen next. Ashalin had given him a bed, a real one. Soft, clean, safe. It had been years since Jace had slept like this. No gun under his pillow. No boots on. No fear. But he couldn't sleep. Instead, he sat by the doorway of the stone house, watching the stars. Then he heard it. A whisper. Very soft. Like a secret. He turned his head and saw Lena, the small girl from earlier. She wasn't asleep. She sat on the floor near the other children, whispering quietly to the boy with the ship toy. Jace moved closer silently. "I heard the humans are coming," Lena whispered. "The bad ones. Like before." The boy nodded. "I dreamed they came in fire, like monsters from the sky." "Ashalin will protect us," Lena said. "She always does. But what if she can't this time?" "She will," Lena said. Then she added something Jace never expected to hear. "She's not like them. She's better than humans." Jace walked outside again. He couldn't breathe properly. His chest felt tight. He had been proud to serve Earth, proud to wear the uniform, proud to be human. But now he wasn't sure what being human even meant. He remembered Lena's eyes, full of fear, full of trust, and the boy's words, "Fire from the sky." He knew what that meant. Earth Command would not wait long. In the morning, Ashalin found him sitting near the edge of the stream. "You look like you saw a ghost," she said gently. "I heard them whispering last night," he said. "They're scared. They think your home will be attacked." She didn't answer right away. Instead, she sat beside him, her silver skin glowing in the morning light. "They're right to be afraid," she finally said. "Humans have found us before. They burned our homes, took our food, took our children." Jace looked at her. But why? Why take care of human kids at all? Why not just leave them? She looked back at him with deep, tired eyes. "Because someone has to love them. Someone has to show them they matter. If not me, then who?" That afternoon, Jace helped repair the water filter outside the house. The children ran around him, laughing and chasing each other. Ashalin worked nearby, planting something in the soil. Everything felt peaceful, like a real home. But inside, Jace felt the countdown ticking. Every hour that passed without a report made it more likely that Earth would act. He looked up at the sky, wondering if a ship was already there. Watching. Waiting. Later, as the sun set, Ashelin gave Jace something wrapped in soft cloth. "What's this?" he asked. "Your truth," she said. He opened it. Inside was a small old picture, cracked and faded. It showed a young girl, maybe 5 years old, standing beside a tall human man in a lab coat. The girl had dark eyes, familiar eyes. "Asha, is that you?" She nodded. "I was born human," she said, "taken from Earth when I was a child. Tested, changed, left behind." Jace stared in shock. "You were one of us." "I still am," she said, "but Earth no longer sees me that way." Jace stood up, pacing. "They lied to me," he said. "To all of us." She nodded again. "They always do." That night, the children went to sleep early. Jace sat outside again, watching the stars. His hand rested on the grip of his weapon, not because he planned to use it, but because he knew someone else might. Then he saw it, a red light blinking in the sky. It was small, far away, but unmistakable. A drone scout. Earth had found them. He rushed inside. "Ashelin," he said, "we're out of time." "They're here." She didn't look surprised. "I know," she said. "I've felt it for days. Why didn't you run?" "Because running doesn't save children. Standing does." Jace's voice shook. "We have to hide the kids. Move them. Do something." "We will," she said calmly. "But you need to make a choice." "What choice?" She looked straight at him. "Are you with them, or are you with us?" He didn't answer right away. His heart pounded. His mind raced. He thought about Lena's whispers, about the old orphanage, about the cold meals and beatings. He thought about the soup Ashelin had made, the hugs, the stories, the peace. And he thought about Earth, a planet that raised him, trained him, then sent him to kill a mother. He looked at her, at the children sleeping behind her. Then he nodded. "I'm with you." She didn't smile. She simply stood and began giving him instructions. "There's a tunnel under the hill. It leads to the river valley. We'll move at first light. You carry the youngest. I'll guard the rear." "Where will we go?" Jace asked. "Somewhere Earth won't follow," she said. "Somewhere the stars are kind." But as they prepared to leave, something blinked again in the sky. This time, it was brighter, closer, and Jace knew what it meant. The fire was coming, the truth she knew all along. She looked into his eyes and said softly, "I knew who you were the moment you arrived. But I let you stay, because I saw the pain in you, the same pain they left in me." Dawn arrived slowly, spilling soft golden light over the alien forest. The blue trees shimmered. Birds with glowing feathers sang songs no human had ever heard. Inside the stone house, Jace sat in silence. He had not slept. He couldn't. The blinking red light in the sky last night was burned into his mind. It was a scout drone, and if Earth Command had sent a drone, then they had already made a decision. Attack was coming. He looked around the quiet room. Lena slept near the fire, hugging the stuffed toy. The boy with the ship clutched it tightly in his arms. 2 others were curled up on mats. So small, so peaceful. Jace clenched his fists. He had trained to fight monsters, but now, his own people were becoming the monsters. A soft noise came from behind him. Ashelin stepped into the room. Her silver skin reflected the warm light. Her eyes met his. She looked tired, but not afraid. "I saw the drone," Jace said. "They'll be here soon." She nodded. "I know. How can you be so calm?" She sat beside him. "Because I've lived through worse." For a long moment, neither of them spoke. Then Ashelin said something that made Jace sit straight. "I knew who you were from the beginning." He turned to her, confused. What? I knew you were a soldier, a spy. I knew Earth had sent you. Jace felt his face go cold. Then, why didn't you stop me? Why didn't you run? She looked at the sleeping children. Because I saw something in your eyes, something I hadn't seen in a long time. What? Pain, she said. Loneliness. The same thing I carried for years. You were one of us. You just didn't know it yet. Jace lowered his head. How did you know all this? She took a deep breath. And then she told him the truth. I was born on Earth, she said quietly. My name was Elin. I lived in a science base near the Martian border. My father worked for the government. He helped build Earth's first wormhole gates. Jace stared at her in shock. You were human. I still am, she said. But Earth didn't want me anymore. She pulled up her sleeve. Faint scars ran along her arm. When I was 11, I got sick. A strange disease from the outer colonies. No cure. My father sent me off to a medical ship. They promised to save me. Her eyes turned dark. They didn't. Jace listened, frozen in place. They took me to a secret lab. Tested on me. Injected alien DNA. Tried to heal me by turning me into something else. She touched her glowing blue eyes. It worked. But I stopped being fully human. I became something in between. A failed experiment. Not human. Not Ynnari. Just broken. Jace's throat felt dry. They left me on a dying planet. Alone. But the Ynnari found me. They healed me. Not just my body. My soul. She stood and walked slowly across the room. The Ynnari taught me peace. Taught me family. And when human children started showing up, hurt, abandoned, or stolen, I made a promise. She looked at him. I would give them what Earth stole from me. A home. Jace felt like the world was spinning. You were one of us, he whispered. I still am, she said again. But I choose who I am now. I chose kindness. I chose love. He nodded slowly. I believe you. A sudden loud noise cut through the peaceful air. A boom in the sky. They both ran outside. Smoke trailed across the clouds. The scout drone had been shot down. By Earth Command itself. A message. They knew he had gone rogue. The attack had begun. Ashalyn acted fast. We move now, she ordered. She woke the children gently. No panic in her voice. Just calm strength. Jace helped pack small bags. Food, water, toys. He carried the youngest girl, still half asleep. The tunnel beneath the house opened with a press of her hand. It led deep into the hills, away from the danger. As they entered the tunnel, Ashalyn turned to Jace one last time. You don't have to come, she said. You can still run. Earth might spare you. He looked at her, furious. They won't, he said. Not after this. I'm already a traitor. She nodded. Then walk with us. The tunnel was long and cold. Water dripped from the ceiling. The children whispered, holding hands. Lena looked up at Jace and said, Will the fire come? He didn't know how to answer. But Ashalyn replied, Maybe. But we will walk through the smoke together. Hours passed. When they came out the other side, they stood on a high ridge. From there, they could see it all. The smoke, the fire, the destruction. Their home was burning. Jace's stomach turned. This is what Earth does now. Ashalyn said nothing. She just held one of the children's hands tighter. They walked farther, deeper into Ynnari territory. The war had come. The choice had been made. And Jace had chosen the side of a mother. The bombers are already in the sky. He defied orders. Earth didn't care. The bombs were already falling. And the only thing between them and fire was him. Smoke painted the sky black. From the hilltop cave, Jace looked out over the burning valley, where Ashalyn's home once stood. The forest was on fire. The ground cracked with craters. What had been a peaceful place full of laughter and love was now ash. The children sat behind him, huddled together in silence. Their eyes reflected the flames like mirrors of fear. Ashalin stood beside Jace, her silver skin glowing faintly in the firelight, calm but alert. "We don't have much time," she said. Jace nodded. He could hear the sound already, deep in the clouds above. Droning, humming, heavy. The bombers. They were coming. The path ahead wasn't easy. Ashalin had planned a route toward a hidden Inari sanctuary deep in the mountain jungles. It was protected, shielded from satellites. But it was days away. The children wouldn't survive the journey on foot. "We need a ship," Jace said. "Something fast." "There is one," Ashalin replied. "Old, buried beneath the shrine. But it hasn't flown in years." "We'll fix it," Jace said. "We have to." They moved fast. Through forests lit by fire. Across streams choked with smoke. Every few minutes, Jace looked up. He didn't need radar. He could feel it in his bones. The pressure in the air. The way the birds had vanished. Death was flying overhead. At the edge of a cliff, they reached the shrine. It was ancient, half covered in moss and rock, shaped like a sleeping dragon. Ashalin knelt and placed her hand on a symbol near its base. The stone shifted. A door opened. Inside was a hangar hidden in stone. And there it was. The ship. Jace stepped inside, eyes wide. It was old, sure, dusty, rusted in places, but it looked strong. Built in the early Earth Yinari peace days, before the war. "Can it fly?" he asked. "I don't know," Ashalin replied. "No one's touched it in 10 years. We'll find out now." The children were taken inside the ship, one by one. Jace and Ashalin worked quickly. He handled the controls. She activated the ancient systems with her DNA signature. Lights flickered. The ship groaned. Then, a deep hum. "Power." "She still lives," Ashalin whispered. But as they celebrated for a moment, a loud sound cracked the sky. Boom, boom, boom. The bombers had arrived. Outside, the clouds split open. Dark metal birds dropped fire onto the valley below. Trees vanished in flames. Mountains cracked. Water turned to steam. The children screamed. Ashalin grabbed 2 of them and shouted, "Strap in." Jace ran to the cockpit. The engines whined and struggled, trying to wake fully. One more boom. Closer. Dust rained from the ceiling. "Come on," he shouted at the controls. "Fly, damn it." The ground shook. The cave entrance exploded behind them. Rocks fell. One of the bombs had landed just outside. The ship's systems blinked. Then, the thrusters lit up. The ship lifted slowly, rising through the debris. But they weren't safe yet. On the radar, Jace saw them. 4 Earth fighter jets. They had spotted the ship. "Targets locked," one pilot said over an open comm. "Permission to fire." A cold voice replied, "That's a stolen vessel. Destroy it." Jace grabbed the old headset. "This is Commander Jace Horan of Earth Special Forces," he shouted. "Do not fire. There are children aboard. Human children." Silence. Then laughter. "We know, traitor," the pilot said. "That's why we're firing." Missiles launched. The ship twisted. Jace pushed the old engine hard. The metal screamed under stress. The children cried. Ashalin sat beside him, holding a child in each arm, eyes locked on the radar. "You said you flew before?" Jace asked. "In simulation. Never like this." "Then welcome to the real thing." The ship flew between mountain ridges, dodging missiles. Smoke trailed behind them. The old controls groaned under pressure, but held. Missiles missed. One hit a wing, sparks flew. They dropped fast, too fast. Jace pulled up. The nose scraped trees. Then, sky again. They had survived. For now. Behind them, Earth ships pulled back. Target escaping atmosphere. One pilot said. Should we pursue? Negative. Orders changed. Prepare orbital strike. If they escape, we wipe the area. In the silence of space, the stars welcomed them. Jace leaned back in the seat, soaked in sweat. They had made it. Barely. Ashalin looked at him. You risked everything. I already lost everything, he said. But I won't lose them too. Far ahead, the Yinari sanctuary glowed like a quiet moon. It was a new home. But the war wasn't over. As they flew toward it, Jace looked back at the planet below. Smoke still rose from where their home used to be. Children still whispered her name at night, and Earth still wanted her dead. But now, he stood between them, and he would never move again. He took the shot. The sniper didn't miss. The shot was perfect. But it never reached her because he jumped in the way. And in that moment, he chose who he really was. The ship landed with a hard thud on the jungle floor, deep inside the Yinari sanctuary zone. Thick vines curled around the trees, glowing plants swayed in the humid air, and strange birds sang low, warning songs. Ashalin opened the rear hatch. Yinari warriors stood waiting. Tall, silent, beautiful, and strange. One stepped forward. His eyes met hers. Sister, he said, we saw the sky burn behind you. Ashalin nodded. Earth sent their answer. And you brought survivors. I brought family. The children were taken into shelter. Soft beds, food, clean water. They clung to Ashalin like shadows. Jace followed closely, watching their every move, eyes still sharp, heart still on fire. But no one spoke of what came next, because everyone knew it wasn't over. Earth didn't give up. Earth didn't forgive. And Earth never forgot. Jace sat in a garden that night, staring at a small fire. He didn't feel like a soldier anymore. His uniform was torn. His mission was dead. His old life was ashes. But somehow, the fire in his chest still burned. Ashalin sat beside him. Your wound, still inside? She asked. He nodded. Worse than before. She placed her hand gently on his. You were never the weapon they tried to make you. He looked at her. Then what am I now? She smiled softly. You're becoming human again. The peace didn't last long. Just after midnight, the sanctuary alarms screamed. Jace leaped to his feet. Incoming! Someone yelled. A Yinari scout burst into the clearing. A human strike team is nearby. They're close, armed. Camouflage. A sniper was spotted on the north ridge. Jace's blood ran cold. A sniper meant one thing. This wasn't an attack. It was an assassination. They were here to kill Ashalin. The children were moved underground. Yinari warriors set up shields and sentries. Jace geared up, found an old blaster, and headed toward the ridge. Ashalin followed. I won't hide, she said. Not again. He looked at her. They'll kill you. Then let them try. The two of them reached the high cliffs above the sanctuary. The wind howled. The jungle below shimmered with torchlight. Somewhere in the trees, a trained human sniper waited, finger on the trigger. A killer like Jace used to be. He scanned the area. There, he whispered. North tree. Third branch. Movement. Ashalin nodded. He's good, but not better than you. Jace didn't smile. He raised the blaster, aimed. Too late. The sniper fired. A beam of white light raced through the dark, straight toward Ashalin. She didn't flinch, but Jace did. He moved on instinct, stepped in front of her, took the shot. It hit him in the side, slicing through armor, burning into flesh. He dropped. Hard. Ashalin caught him. Blood stained her arms. Jace gritted his teeth, trying to stay awake. Don't you dare die, she whispered. He coughed, barely breathing. Told you. They'd come. She pulled him behind a boulder, placed a healing patch on the wound. More shots rang out. Yanari fire returned. The sniper's location exploded in flame. Silence. Later, Jace woke in a soft bed. His body ached. His vision blurred. But he was alive. And Ashelin was beside him. "You idiot," she said softly. "You should have let me take the shot." He managed a weak smile. "Didn't want to lose my family." Outside, the other Yanari whispered his name. The human who bled to protect them. They didn't call him enemy anymore. They called him brother. But Earth wasn't finished. The failed sniper mission triggered something worse. Total war. A full invasion. Earth Command sent a message across the stars. "This is your final warning. Surrender the traitor and the alien abomination, or we will burn the sanctuary to the ground." The Yanari held council. Some wanted to run. Some wanted to fight. Some looked to Jace. "What would humans do?" one asked. Jace stood slowly, arm wrapped in bandages. "They'd fight," he said. "They'd hit hard, but they'd never protect the weak. Not like you do." He looked at Ashelin. "So maybe it's time we stop being like them." That night, Ashelin made her decision. "We won't run," she said. "We'll stand. With the children. With the wounded. With what's left of our peace." Jace stepped beside her. "Then I'll stand too." From above, Earth ships began to gather, shadowing the stars. Their metal hulls reflected no mercy. And on the jungle floor below, a man once sent to kill an alien mother was now ready to die to protect her. He became her son. They called him a traitor, a broken soldier, a mistake. But to her, he was something else entirely. He was her son. The sky no longer held stars. It held warships. The jungle shook with the roar of engines. Earth's final warning had passed. Now came the fire. Jace stood at the edge of the sanctuary, bandages wrapped around his ribs, armor barely holding together. His blaster was old, his body weak, but his eyes burned with purpose. Behind him stood Ashelin. Beside her stood the children. And beyond them, the Yanari. No one ran. They stood as one. The Earth Fleet opened its message to all frequencies. "Surrender the traitor and the Yanari leader. You have 10 minutes before full extermination begins. This is your last mercy." The message ended with silence. Jace looked up at the dark metal clouds. He'd once believed in those voices. Now he knew better. The Yanari Council turned to Ashelin. "If we give you up," one elder said softly, "the children might be spared." Ashelin didn't even blink. "They won't stop. You know that." She turned to Jace. "You still have a choice. We can sneak you out. You're human. You can disappear." Jace stepped forward. "Not anymore," he said. "They stopped calling me human the day I refused to kill you." Ashelin looked at him for a long moment. Then she whispered, "Then we face this together." With only minutes left, Jace gave his final order. "Prepare defenses. Shield the children first. Fight only if they breach the sanctuary line. We don't fight to win. We fight to be remembered." He looked around. At every face, some Yanari had raised the children as their own. Some had never fought before. All of them were ready to die for peace. Then, in the distance, a sound, a crack in the sky. Dropships. They fell like stones from orbit, unfolding into battle units on the jungle floor. From them came Earth soldiers in black armor, silent, merciless, machine-like. Jace once wore that armor. Now he aimed his weapon at it. The first wave attacked. Yanari defenders clashed with Earth soldiers at the outer line. Trees exploded. Smoke filled the air. Screams echoed through the jungle. Jace fought beside them, every breath sharp, every move fueled by something deeper than orders. He wasn't fighting for a mission. He was fighting for home. They pushed back the first wave. Then the second came. More brutal. Heavier weapons. Drones screaming through the sky. A Yinari warrior fell beside him. Jace pulled him to cover. Blood soaked the soil. Ashalin ran through the fire to protect 2 children. A drone fired toward her. Jace fired back. Hit the drone. Just in time. The battle raged for hours. But they were losing. Too many injured. Too many enemy reinforcements. Then a third voice came on the comm channel. Female. Cold. Familiar. Commander Jace Halloran. You were once Earth's finest. Why throw it away for this creature? Jace snatched a radio. Because she raised more humans with love than you raised with bullets. You'll die for this. I already did, Jace said. But you killed the wrong man. In the final hour, the sanctuary shields began to fail. A hole opened in the western wall. Earth soldiers poured through. One reached the children. Ashalin stood in front of them, arms wide. The soldier raised his weapon. Jace tackled him to the ground. Fists, blood, fury. He didn't stop until the man didn't move anymore. He turned to Ashalin. You okay? She nodded. But behind her, another soldier appeared. Jace's body was too slow, too broken. The soldier fired. Ashalin fell to her knees, clutching her side. No, Jace shouted, catching her. The children screamed, but she was still breathing. Barely. Jace lifted her in his arms, eyes filled with fire. He turned to the last standing Earth soldiers at the edge of the sanctuary, and he walked toward them. Unarmed, covered in blood, carrying the alien they came to kill. One of them raised a weapon. Another shouted, "Stand down." The leader of the Earth unit removed his helmet. He looked at Jace, then at the children crying behind him. He lowered his weapon. "No more," the man said. "Not like this." The others looked at each other. One by one, they dropped their rifles. The war ended with a whisper. Hours later, Earth Command sent a retreat signal. The fleet pulled back. No apology, no explanation, just silence. But that silence was enough. Ashalin recovered in the Yinari healing chambers. The children slept beside her, refusing to leave her side. Jace watched over them all. He didn't leave the sanctuary. Not ever again. Years passed. Peace slowly returned. The galaxy changed. Old alliances broke. New ones formed. But one small sanctuary, hidden in the jungle of a forgotten moon, remained untouched. Inside that sanctuary, an old man sat by a fire. He wore no uniform, just a worn vest with a patch on the shoulder. HFY guard. A small child climbed into his lap. "Grandfather," the child asked, "is it true you were once a human soldier?" He smiled. "I still am." "Then why did you stay with her? With the alien?" He looked toward the window, where Ashalin, older now, wiser, walked slowly through the garden. "Because I didn't find an alien," he said. "I found a mother." The child leaned against him. "So, she's your mom." Jace's smile turned soft. "She didn't give me life. She gave me reason to live." The child whispered, "I want to be like you." Jace looked at the stars. "Then protect the ones who have no one. Love the ones they call strange. And never forget, family isn't blood. It's choice." And that's how the soldier became her son.